Cooking Crave, brought to you by ENG Lending, your area's #1 choice for home loans. 456loan.com.
Coming up on today's show, we have a shrimp show. That's all coming your way next. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne.
And you found a couple shrimp recipes that we're going to make for our viewers today. We're going to make some shrimp scampi and some shrimp fried rice.
Yes.
So, for all you shrimp lovers out here, write down these ingredients and cook along with us. For the shrimp scampi, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 to 5 large cloves of garlic, 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 1/4 pound large shrimp, salt and ground pepper to taste, a 1/4 cup of dry white wine or broth, a 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley.
Yep.
And for the shrimp fried rice, you're going to need 2 ounces of peanut oil, 4 medium shrimp, 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 bunch of green onions, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, 4 large eggs, a 1/2 cup of frozen peas, 2 cups of rice, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and a teaspoon of sesame oil.
Not too difficult.
No, where are we going to start?
We're going to start over here with the shrimp scampi.
Okay.
So I will take that recipe and bring it over here. And I guess I do need to give credit to somebody for the shrimp scampi.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's Carter, my grandson.
Oh.
This is one thing he loves to cook, and he will cook at his house, is the shrimp scampi for the family.
All right. He just turned 15. I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, this is fun to make, and the thing is, too, it's awesome. He's already got his plans to go to Wahpeton for culinary school. He wants to be a chef, so we'll see
Awesome.
if that changes.
So when Grandma retires, we have a fill-in.
Oh, boy, that's good thinking, for sure. All right, so I'm going to start with 2 teaspoons of olive oil in here, because we're going to just saute the garlic just for a little bit.
Okay.
And also we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of the butter. We have 4 tablespoons of butter, but we're going to need 2 for this, and then the others is going to come in later.
Okay.
So I'll put that in there, and I'll turn that up there. And I'm going to get myself a little stir there.
And did you put in tablespoons or teaspoons of the oil?
Tablespoons.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we want to get this melted here, the butter, and then we're going to saute our garlic first. We have the fresh chopped garlic, and then we also have it is called your minced garlic.
Okay.
That. And I happen to have that, and I'm really thinking, if you don't have minced garlic, would you be? So I think you could be just fine to use regular garlic.
You probably could. The minced garlic looks like it's going to be a little bit more concentrated, though.
Right.
So depending on your taste, you may or may not want that.
That's correct. So make sure you have a big enough skillet, because till you brown that, and then you're adding, a little over a pound of shrimp and stuff. So, and with the shrimp, I did take the tails off of that, and I would think that, usually we would want to take the tails off.
Sure.
So there is, it says 4 to 5 large cloves of garlic, chopped, and then it was 1.5 teaspoons of the minced garlic.
Okay.
And we just want to saute that a little bit just to bring out that fragrance, or the taste of your garlic.
Sure.
And that's what sauteing is all about with that. And that just takes a few minutes. And another thing I wanted to the viewers, it says dry white wine or broth. I am going to use chicken broth. The thing is, with wine, it does kind of cook out somewhat. And I had some cooking wine, but your cooking wine is a little bit more vinegary.
Okay.
So I would kind of hesitate to use cooking wine. I would use just a cheap white wine,
Sure.
if you don't want to use the broth. So this is already starting to, bubble up here, saute.
And that doesn't take long.
No, probably about 30 seconds and would be about it. And then we're just gonna move this over here to make sure I get it all right here. Then we're gonna add our shrimp. And shrimp does not take... Oh.
Garlic onion rope.
Too much, too strong?
Okay, I'm going to zoom into the pot real quick. Okay.
Okay, we can see that garlic, already sauteed there. Now we're going to add our shrimp.
And shrimp doesn't take that long to cook up either.
It does not, and you don't want to overcook shrimp.
Yep. They'll get a little rubbery.
That's correct. So we're just going to get that. And like I said, I've got a pretty large skillet here, so it can pretty much almost lay out flat. And it only says, with your shrimp to do it like about 1 to 2 minutes on each side.
Okay.
And so we just, after I put the cold shrimp in, it cools down a little bit, the olive oil. So I'm just putting the burner up a little bit higher just to have that. And then we want to flip that over. And it does not take very long, to make.
Nope. Are we seasoning it with the salt and pepper while it's cooking then?
Well, actually, yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
That's a good reminder.
I'm just seeing it right there on the stove.
And I put it right there. And that you just want to do to taste, pepper and salt to taste. It doesn't say any amount. So I'm going to use the fresh ground pepper. Okay, and then, we'll use a little bit of salt here. And I've just got that coarse ground salt. Okay, I don't think we want too much there.
Okay.
So, and then we also have red pepper flakes. It will make it a little bit spicier, and that's an optional.
Okay.
You can add more, you could add less, or none at all. So it's just whatever, you would like to do.
Kind of like with the garlic. I mean,
that's right. Yes. And with this, then you can serve over rice, or I made some linguine noodles, pasta there and stuff. So it's just going to be a matter of, choice.
Sure.
And now out there you have these spaghetti spiral things that you can make spaghetti out of zucchini.
Oh.
And all that is supposed to be so healthy.
Yep.
So I could see something like that.
Sure.
Or whatever. I haven't invested in that yet. But one of the few things I might not have in my kitchen.
One.
Okay. There.
Finding the right mortgage company can be a little puzzling. At ENG Lending, we make it easy by finding the right program that fits perfectly. From VA loans for our veterans to first-time home buyers, refinancing and debt consolidation. Piece by piece, we pay close attention to every detail so that every piece of the puzzle falls right into place. ENG Lending. It all comes together.
Call 456-LOAN right now.
We've kind of just sauteed the shrimp about 2 minutes on each side, just where the pink is starting to leave. This is where now we're going to add the 4th cup of the chicken broth.
Okay.
And like I said, and I kind of feel that the chicken broth will give you a little bit more flavor than the white wine will, just for the fact that that will, cook out somewhat. So
Sure.
And that is usually probably something more that you're going to have on hand. And this is too where we're going to add the red pepper flakes. And it says only a half a teaspoon. And again, it's optional. And It's pretty much to what you do for your taste.
Sure.
Doesn't take too much for that to be, spicy. If you put in a teaspoon or so, you might get it spicier than some of the kids may be able to handle.
Right.
So we just want, now that's just going to cook up a little bit. You want a little bit of that juice to cook up. And then we add the rest of the butter.
Okay.
And we have here, it says 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then it says chopped parsley. And I did have some parsley, so I was able to chop that.
Sure.
And again, that's more a garnish for looks and stuff.
Right.
You go to the store, you want to buy parsley, you have to buy a big bunch, and all you want is a couple of teaspoons or tablespoons of chopped parsley.
Depends on how fancy you want to be.
Yep, that's right. And how often you're going to use the parsley to make it worth your time.
Sure.
And stuff. And I have frozen parsley already, but of course, it's not near what it's going to be like when you have the fresh stuff. So.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, we're going to see we've sauteed about another 2 minutes after we put in the red pepper and that. We don't want to do it too much because then, your shrimp can get rubbery and stuff like that. So this is where we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Okay.
There we go. And we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of butter. And I think I got a little bit more here. I don't need all of that. So, and I did turn off my burner already because it's almost going to be done here now and ready to go. We're going to add the parsley.
Okay.
And that's basically, and it's just a garnish. And I took it off turn the stove off, the burner, and I'm going to cover it, and we're just going to let it set like this here.
Okay.
And that, but I'm actually going to take it partially off of the heat. I don't want it to really cook anymore.
Okay.
So that's going to be ready for us to put over like rice or pasta, anything that you like.
Okay.
So we're going to come over here, and this is going to be a little bit different one here. This is it's shrimp fried rice.
Okay.
So what we're wanting to do first is we're going to saute our shrimp just a little bit and then take that out, and then we're going to put in the other ingredients. We have eggs and with our onions and frozen peas and garlic and stuff like that. I thought that really sounded interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be good.
Yeah, and I did cook up 2 cups of rice. It says jasmine rice. To me, any hard cooked rice is going to be just fine. Jasmine is just a little bit more of a premium rice,
Okay.
and stuff. So, and I don't think you're going to have anything different in the flavor and stuff like that. So we starting here with 2 ounces of peanut oil in here. And I added some, but I think I'm going to just add just a tiny bit more because we're going to first saute our, the shrimp. There's only like 4 large shrimp that you want to cut up into little smaller bites and stuff, about
Okay.
a 1/2 inch size. Get that heated. So, and it's good just to start with a big skillet. And I did kind of Google, and I thought, everybody isn't going to have maybe peanut oil on hand. And I looked up to see if there was something you could substitute for peanut oil. And they said that sesame seed oil is the next thing because it has kind of that nutty flavor like peanut oil does. But, if you're, having to do much frying, canola oil is even better for frying than your peanut oil or sesame seed oil. So if you don't have either one of that, I don't think your dish is going to be compromised if you just have like canola oil or whatever.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So, because definitely, you know, those oils are a little bit more expensive, and you buy them in a little smaller bottle like that, and it's as much as if you bought a whole.
Well, and it depends on if that's something that you use.
If you use a lot.
I mean,
yes.
if you use a lot of it, I mean, that's great. But if you're using it for one recipe that you might make every now and then, it might go bad
yeah.
before you finish using it.
Now, peanut oil and sesame seed oil, I do put in the fridge.
Okay.
Because it, like I say, if you don't use it real often, you don't want it to get rancid.
Sure.
And it will. And it definitely will. So now we're going to take this out. That pretty much has lost the pinkness. And it doesn't, like I said, take very long for shrimp to, that little bit to cook up. Okay, so while we're doing that, I'll turn the burner down just slightly there.
So we'll just add the shrimp back in once we have the rice prepared then?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm going to saute the garlic and onion right now, so I'm going to wipe out this here. Just, you know, it suggests to wipe that out. So just,
Okay.
and my pan is hot.
Yes.
So now I'm going to add the remaining of my peanut oil here.
Okay.
And this is where we're going to saute the garlic.
Okay.
And it asks for shrimp. Well, excuse me, not shrimp. Well, yeah, I guess it did. But ginger, ground ginger.
Okay.
And I had some raw ginger, and I did cut some up for that. And again, that is something I don't usually have in my cupboards or fridge is the raw ginger. But there's definitely a way different flavor to that versus, you know, you taking your ground ginger out. You know, that is your seasonings for cooking.
Oh, okay.
And stuff, so.
Good to know.
And when I did go to the store or whatever, those big clumps or little clumps, I just took a very small clump of that, so it really ended up to be very inexpensive, just so that I could get the true flavor of this in here.
All right. That sounds great.
And there, so now I'm going to add the onions. And this is the green onion. And it says a bunch. It doesn't say a cup or a half a cup or whatever. I just bought a bunch of green onion.
Sure.
Not a bunch, but just one bunch.
Right.
For in that. So we just want to saute that. And then if viewers are kind of familiar with fried rice, you actually put eggs in it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to, as soon as this gets sauteed just a little bit more, I want to go ahead and add, it says 4 eggs. And then you're going to stir those eggs just so like you're scrambling them. It's kind of like you go to the, you know,
Japanese steakhouse.
yeah, that's right. And they'll do that right in front of you. They'll put that egg in there, and they're cooking that, and it doesn't take very long.
Are you going to do any tricks for us today? Let's just say no.
Yeah, I think so. It might be safer, you know, for that. So, okay, now that has sauteed there, a little bit enough there just to get all those flavors mixed. And now we're going to add 4 eggs. Looks like they've got a little bit of shell there. We don't want that in there. And just start mixing that up right away. I'll just get them all in there.
Yep, just do it fast.
Yep. There we go. Whoops. Just about had that on the side. So just keep,
This is something that goes very quickly too.
it does. It's not going to take very long at all.
So even if you wanted to have your eggs cracked prior and not do it kind of like how you did it,
You could have, you know, and that probably,
unless you're a fast egg cracker.
right. We could have done that. Okay, see, look at that. The eggs are just about already cooked. And I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. And then it says to add a half a cup of frozen peas.
Okay.
So I do have that here. And sometimes when I've seen that rice, they actually have carrots in there too, don't they?
Yep.
Or is it, you know, because when I was looking, I thought, oh, I could do some mixed peas and carrots with that also.
Yeah, it just depends on what you like.
Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and the peas are, you know, unthawed, I'm sure, in here and stuff, so
Now that won't take long in there.
no, no. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to first put in the 2 cups of rice here.
Okay.
And this is probably the time too we're going to add the soy sauce.
All right. So, I mean, would you been able to put the rice in with the eggs when the eggs are cooking up? Or, I mean, I suppose it depends on the recipe.
You know, I'm going to be honest, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I just going to go follow the recipe.
Sure.
Because they're not cooked and you want them, it's going to be kind of scrambling. It's kind of hard then to maybe have the eggs cook as quick and scramble them if you added your rice right away.
Okay.
So that would be my take on that. So now I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of soy sauce.
Okay.
We're going to want to get that cooked up there. And we'll want to just get that nice and hot, you know, 2-3 minutes, whatever that takes. And get that soy sauce blended in there well.
Sure.
Country Rose Cafe on East Villard is open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Enjoy daily homemade specials, caramel and cinnamon rolls, several different kinds of homemade pies made fresh every day. Country Rose Cafe is also famous for homemade soup, including their ever-popular Nefla served every Tuesday. While you're in, make sure to pick up your Channel 18 Cooking Crave recipes and like us on Facebook for different specials and announcements. Country Rose Cafe, the way a cafe should be, located at 837 East Villard in Dickinson.
We have this rice and the peas all heated up very nicely. So we're going to just add back in our shrimp.
Okay.
And it says a teaspoon of sesame seed oil. Just put in there and toss that. That just gives that a little extra flavoring. Oh, and I think this dish you could make easily without the shrimp. Just making your fried rice like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
people. So we'll just get this mixed up, and then it's going to be ready.
Yeah, neither one of these dishes that we're preparing today take very long at all.
It did not.
You're not, you're using the stove or a skillet, and you're not heating up your house. So this is a good alternative for a great supper.
Yeah. Well, and like we just said, if you go out to like the Japanese restaurant and they're doing this right in front of you, and they have it, and your meal is ready in no time. So, well, I think I got that oil and the shrimp all in there mixed well, so we're going to be able to feature that. Oh, we have that out there. Now
That
we're going to
looks
come
great.
over here, and I made some pasta. I made some linguine.
Okay.
And I took that out there. So, and this is nice and hot. So we're going to just serve, that over. And, like I said, rice, any choice, that you would like.
Yes.
To serve it over.
So very quick. This didn't take very long to make these two dishes.
Nope.
And if you're prepared, you come home from work and you're going to be eating it in a half hour.
We are. Yeah.
All right.
And enjoying it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To get these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, consolidatednd.com. Please submit your recipes for us to cook on the show, and your name will go into the drawing for a Cooking Crave apron. Always nice to have. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll do it over again next week.